Good evening, everyone. It is I, Mike V, and welcome once again to the Tuesday Talk Q&A. Today is December 13th, 2022. Hope everyone is having a good day and evening thus far. So today is going to be an interesting talk. Ooh, gonna have to hold my breath here for this one because I've had to make sure I prepare enough tabs on my web browser so I could show you guys what I want to show you, as well as some notes that I'm going to have to. I got notes on the screen as well as on my notebook here that's in front of me. And we're going to be discussing the differences between slot machines here in the US versus those across the Atlantic in Britain. So that's going to be, there's a lot to cover, and I probably won't get everything, but I'm going to be doing my best. I think I got most of the general differences that we're going to be discussing here. And I'll be making references to the Gambling Commission's official website, as well as a I guess you could say well-known UK-based slot player on YouTube who plays both online and at actual betting establishments, I guess you could say, that I've watched for several years now. This is the first time actually having me shout him out here, but I am going to be referring to screen captures from one of his recent videos to show you guys what I mean with the differences of slots in the U.S. versus what they have over there in the U.K. Hey, boozers, welcome. Glad to see you here. So we're just waiting for others to join. Before we begin, I will start off a brand new segment that we're going to be doing every week. And that is, let me go ahead and get it ready here. So, anybody who shares winning moments on my Discord server, I will go ahead and share with you guys every time we do the Tuesday stream. So, let's go ahead and switch over. Hey, this is the Discord server. So, Matt had recently Matt has recently shared with us a couple of winning moments here. We got here 9-5 double double bonus with 4 jacks at a $1 denomination for $250. And we've got 9-6 double double bonus with 4 aces at 50-cent denomination, 800 credits, that's $400. That is excellent. So if you want to share any wins, you're welcome to. And if you haven't done so yet, if you want to also share, the Discord link is on the screen below my below the webcam. It's also pinned to the chat, and it's in the description below. And also, if you are going to share a win, be sure you share it in the appropriate category. In this case, for video poker, you would share it down in the video poker channel right here under the casino category. But as you can see, if this is the Discord server, you can discuss general things. You can ask me questions for this stream, the Tuesday Talk. There's a dedicated Tuesday Talk. You can get updates on videos that are coming onto YouTube, information on the home game, the PokerStars home game. That's every Thursday. And you can ask questions about poker, various casino games, and even money and finance. So be sure to join. Okay. Go ahead and we'll close off Discord. Oh, I did not mean to go to the intermission screen. There we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my web browser so we could start on today's topics. Yeah, Matt, you did it. And you're here. Welcome. You just showed off your wins. Apologies if I get brain dead during the course of the stream, because I did do an intense recording this afternoon for a video I wanted to do. I think the video is called 5 Quick Tips on Video Poker Before You Go to the Casino, something like that. I still need to edit it. There's a lot of editing that needs to be done, but it's going to be a short video. And then I hope to get that by tomorrow at the earliest. And that, and then also getting this stream ready, making sure I got everything here. So let's just go on and get it started. We've got an hour. Probably won't take that long, but who knows? Let's go right here. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to discuss today slots and gaming machines in the United Kingdom. So we're going to look at the differences. We're probably mostly going to discuss more of what they have versus what we have because obviously you guys, most of my viewers are from the U.S., but I will refer to machines here for reference in case somebody from the UK is watching this sometime in the future. But let's start off going down the bullet point list, and I'll also go open up these tabs as needed. So one thing you'll notice is that slots in the UK do not have denominations. Here in the US, we have penny, 5 cent, dollar, up $100 denomination or more, and then it shows the balance in credits. Over in the UK, there are no denominations. The balances are shown in actual currency, in this case, British pounds, because it is in the UK. So exactly like you would see here, 100 pounds, it would show as 100 pounds. And on the other hand, instead of denominations, what they have is legal maximum bets and maximum wins depending on the category of machine. And we're going to actually go look at all the different categories in a moment, too. So, for example, let's just use one, for example, that's common. Maximum bet of £2 and a maximum win of 500 pounds. That's pretty common for a category B2 and B3 gaming machine, which we'll look. So that means legally you cannot bet more than that amount on that machine. The machine cannot allow for bets higher than that amount. And the maximum you can win per spin, or per game, per spin, is 500 pounds. So obviously, what you've noticed there is that the games are not going to be as exciting as they are here, in terms of those limitations. But that's specifically for machines in certain smaller establishments. We'll look at the actual casinos in a moment. We're going to go through all the categories in a bit. And we're actually going to get to go there soon. But so yeah, these are the different categories that you can find of gaming machines. And I will refer to the Gambling Commission's website. We'll read about them. But before we do, I want to go to the next step here about RNG, because there's here in the U.S. we have different classes for tribal gaming. So got class 2 and class 3 are the two most common types. Class 3 being your typical Vegas style slot machines with an RNG, and it's random. Anything can happen, and you can get the bonus first spin. You can get back-to-back jackpots, or you may not get anything at all. It's like flipping a coin. It's random. And of course, we have class 2, which are based off of a bingo server. It's not technically slots, but you're actually playing bingo, but it looks like a slot machine. And then there are others. I think New York State has ones based on lottery, where it's like you're playing a scratch-off ticket, even though it looks like a slot machine. So those are what we have in the U.S. And there's probably others that I'm missing as well, but in the UK, there are two different types of ways the RNG can work. We got random and compensated. Random is basically the equivalent of class 3 here in the US. Vegas style, an RNG does the calculations and does the determines the results. A compensated machine is something that's different, and I'm going to go ahead and explain this with a little analogy. So imagine you have 10 balls in a bucket. 9 of them are red and 1 of them is green, and your goal is to pick the green ball out of the bucket to win. So if we think of it in terms of a Vegas style slot, which is random, random RNG. Um, you pick it from the bucket, obviously without looking, and if it's red, oh, you lose. If it's green, oh, you win, and then you put it back in, and you get to pick again for the next game, and your chances of getting the green ball is 1 out of 10, and it's always 1 out of 10, so the odds are always the same. That's what it is here in Vegas. That's what it is here in the U.S. for the most part. And there are those machines in the UK as well. You'll see on the machine it'll say this game is random, and that lets you know. Compensated, on the other hand, think of it as like pulling the ball out of the bucket. You get a red ball, and then in your next pick, that choice is no longer there. Now there's 9 remaining, 1 green and 8 red. So your chances of winning in the next playthrough are increased. There, think of it, compensated. It basically means the machine has a mind of its own and will compensate to reach the payback percentage in a shorter time frame. While a random RNG, it can take hundreds of thousands, millions of spins, while compensated, it could take a few days or a week, depending on how often the machine is played, before it reaches that expected return. So because of that, and a lot of the older uh, games pretty much made before the year 2000, I actually put here in a bullet point. Older games made before 2000, so I would say around the 20th century, are typically 3 reels and compensated. The old style fruit machines. I'm actually going to go ahead and show a picture. I went and found one randomly on the internet. So this is what a fruit. It's a slang for slot machines, fruit machines. So this one's called Best of British. And if anybody in the UK wants to put in more details, I still don't understand everything that's going on, but they've got features that we never see here in the US. You've got like hold and nudge. If I go ahead and go back to my notes here, you got mechanics not seen in the US, such as the ability to nudge. The nudge the reel, so you get a combination. Maybe you're 1 away, and then you got an opportunity for a nudge. You hit the nudge for that reel, and it goes down by 1 notch, and hey, you won. Hold, as you can see on the picture here, for the next spin, you can decide to hold 1 or 2 reels in place, and then spin only one of them, for example. I don't know if it's something you can do by will, or if it's given to you, that option. So yeah, it's something I still don't understand, but I'm trying to piece it together here. But and then there's repeat. Repeat is another one. Which is common also in video slots there, where if you hit the top jackpot, you'll be given an option for a repeat. This is a way for the manufacturer to get around uh, the maximum win requirements, is to immediately after you hit the maximum payoff for a spin, say it's £500, you'll get a repeat chance to get the £500 again. A common way of doing it is having on your screen flashing uh, the question repeat chance, and then two words light up: win or lose, or win or no, yes or no. And then you just have to push the screen, or push the button to see what the result is of the repeat chance. And of course it's going to be weighed towards not getting it, because that would be otherwise it'd be kind of too easy to get back to back jackpots. But um, it might be more common though in the games with a smaller jackpot. So, for example, this game here probably is under a category C, because it looks like it has a £100 max jackpot. Category C gaming machines have a maximum allowable win of £100. At least that's what I think this one is, just based on looking at what. And of course, these games also have a lot of different, uh, bonus rounds and features, things lighting up all over the place. So it's just a lot a lot to take. But yeah. Oh, and Boozers was saying beer. Yeah, there. I think there is. Yeah. Uh, okay. Yeah, video slots are random, but some are compensated, and I will give you an example right here. I am going to be showcasing uh, screenshots from a YouTube channel called Stop and Step. Guy's name is Darren. He is a guy. He's from the UK and he plays slots in various gaming establishments. He plays online as well for real money. This machine here, Sherlock Holmes, is a video slot that is compensated. It actually will, in the short term, as previously described, uh, if you lose a lot, if someone loses a lot, then the next person will have a better chance at winning. It's compensated. if it's a if I've explained it properly there, but um, what else was I going to mention about? Oh, that's because the older machines are more likely to be uh, con- uh, uh, compensated, and newer video slots tend to be uh, RNG based or random, with the exception, of course, of this slot, Sherlock Holmes, like I mentioned earlier. Because of that, the history of machine gambling in the UK is interesting in that the demographics are skewed differently than in the U.S. Here in the U.S., slots are pretty much pure chance game of luck, and the demographics is 50-50 split roughly between men and women who play slots. In the UK, it is primarily dominated by men, and the reason why is because in the past, decades ago, most of the gaming machines, they look similar to this. Uh, uh, th- because they're compensated, there is a bit of skill involved in that. You get in that if you've seen someone put lost a lot of money on one, then you have a slightly better chance as the next person to actually come home a winner because of the compensation fact. Um, and because of that, I guess that tends to appeal more towards men, and that's why in the UK, even to the present day, apparently, um, most of the people who play machines are in fact men. Quite a bit actually, from my previous research. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and actually look at the categories now. All right. So this is the gamblingcommission.gov.uk website. This is the official regulator for gambling in the United Kingdom. And so this is the page on gaming machine categories as defined. So a gambling machine, yeah, adapted to use for gamble. So I'm going to skip a lot of this because a lot of it's repeat stuff, but I'm going to stop and show you guys some of the interesting stuff. So here are the categories. The one that you're not going to find at all in the UK is Category A. Category A was created to be used for so-called super casinos, which if you think about it, it would look more like a casino that you would see in Vegas, what we would just simply call casinos. But none were ever built, and therefore there are no Category A games at all. This would have allowed for unlimited max bet, so the device manufacturer can choose how much, and the casino can choose how much the max bet would be, as well as unlimited prizes. So that's the only category that allows for unlimited stakes and prizes. But since it doesn't exist, there are no games that exist. That means you're never gonna find, say, a megabuck slot in the UK because it would be illegal under the other categories, and you won't find uh, machines where you could bet $200 a spin, like an $100, uh, for example, top dollar or a slot machine. You're not gonna find, or pinball. You're not gonna find such high limits there because of that. So here are the different categories. Let's go. Oh yeah, other systems which are not gaming machines. I'll be sure to. I guess I could show you if you want to check out the website for yourself. It's gamblingcommission.gov.uk. Search for licenses. What is it? Gaming machine categories in the search. So other systems which are not gaming machines, and it's kind of funny: domestic or dual-use computers, telephones, or other machines facilitating communication. Like no duh. But they also include like lottery terminals or bingo machines. Oh, speaking of bingo in the UK, it's different how it works compared to here. Bingo the bingo layout in Britain is a 5x3 board as opposed to a 5x5. A little bit of a fun fact right there. All right, so let's start with category B1. Category B1 is the only category that you will find that is exclusive to uh, gaming establishments that are specifically casinos. Casinos that are licensed under the Gambling Act, either the 2005 Gambling Act or the 1968 Act. As you can see, the maximum stake for these gaming machines is £5, and the maximum win, the maximum amount that you can win uh, in a single spin of that machine is £10,000, or 20,000 if it is a progressive jackpot. Boozers. I'll go ahead and show the comment because it was YouTube thought it was spam, but yeah, it's weird. It is. It. I consider the UK now, compared to maybe several years ago, I consider it now to start to become overregulated. Obviously, when the Gambling Act in 2005 was initially passed, it was like one of the earliest countries to like liberalize internet gambling, um, and it pretty much kept a hands-off approach up until recently. And a lot of things have uh, have been restricted since then. Uh, three, oh, the bingo, yeah, 3x5. I think, yeah. My knowledge of British bingo is not that strong. My main knowledge of that is because I've watched one of Stop and Step's videos of him playing a bingo machine. Was it Rainbow Riches Bingo? I think it was, and it showed the multiple different layouts as 5x3 boards with different patterns on each board that you have to get a bingo to get a bingo. So it's it's different. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So B1 machines are permitted only in casinos. So if you go to say the Hippodrome in London, for example, this is where you will find Class B1 machines. And as you can see, there is a map. Obviously the casinos in the UK are small compared to the US. No more than 150 machines allowed. Uh, and they can be any combination of category machines from B to D. It's not just category B1s. And yeah, so up to maximum 150, and it's subject to a machine to table ratio of 5 to 1. So I guess no more than 5 machines per table game in the casino. uh, All right, so licenses, gaming machine technical standards, test houses. So this is where machines have to be tested by independent auditors to make sure they comply with the regulations, as well as they they are paying the payback percentage that they state. And here's the other thing too. Here's the thing. I've mentioned this to Mark over the weekend. Return to player. Now, if you're in the U.S. and if you watched Cowboy Slots stream and premiere video back on Sunday, you would have seen that payback percentage is what we would call for what the machine is set to by the casino or by the manufacturer, and return to player statistics is what the machine actually paid back. That's not how it's defined here in the UK and pretty much outside the US. Return to player is actually synonymous with payback percentage over in the UK. They call it the theoretical target percentage return to player. And Boozer says, "Can you imagine the lurkers here if we had compensated machines?" Oh, yeah, especially if they knew that that's the fact. Yeah, and that's why I think in the UK there are a lot more lurkers out there, even on machines that are random, because some may not know. You know, the older folks grew up with compensated slots, and random is relatively new. They pretty much started right around the time of the first video gaming machines were introduced. And Matt says, "My home casino has a thing when you walk in that shows the average slot payback percentage." Oh wow. Yeah, I'm about to mention here too about the payback percentage. In the UK, they are listed. You can find out what they're paid by just going to the help screen. Obviously, maybe what you're saying here is that the casino is just showing the average for the whole casino, not necessarily for a specific slot. But here in the UK, I will mention here, it says right here the machines must display it, and they call it the theoretical target percentage return to player. So when you hear RTP from outside the US, especially in the UK, it's equivalent to payback percentage. It's the theoretical payback, what we would call the payback percentage. And yeah, it's an average measured over over a large number of games and will vary over a typical session due to normal game volatility. Exactly. And yeah, Matt has confirmed. Yeah, it's for all the slots in the whole place. Right. Yeah. So the casino, or in this case, the game manufacturer, will decide on the RTP. There is no minimum requirement. So a casino, a slot could be set like at 50% if it wanted to, but which would be illegal here in most places of most parts of the U.S. Nevada, the minimum percentage is 75. I think in Atlantic City it's 83. Other places might be higher or lower, but in the UK there's no minimum requirement. However, the minimum average return must be displayed to the player for the game. So I'm going to actually go ahead and show off a screenshot. I'm trying to remember if it's this one. This is it right here. So this is from Stop and Step's video, one of his videos playing playing at an arcade. Uh, so this would be like the help screen right here. Tells you information about problem gambling helpline. A lot of these is like legal requirements, and so I know it might be difficult to see, but starting right here where my mouse is, it says here, this is a category B3 game. We'll go ahead and get down to category B3 in a moment. And it says right here, this game is random. That means it's not compensated. So this is a Vegas style RNG based gaming machine. No prize greater in value than 500 pounds can be won from this machine in any one game. So it tells you the maximum jackpot that you can earn. Machine malfunction voids game. Okay, so malfunction a statement that is typical even here. And then right here on the bottom, it tells you at 20p stake, 20p, 20 pence. You know how 100 cents to a dollar here in the U.S. It's 100 pence or pennies to a British pound. So at 20 pence or 20p stake or bet, this game has an average percentage payout of at least 88%. So it tells you right there, if you're betting 20 pence a spin, your payback percentage is going to be around 88%. It says at least, probably because of other factors like a gamble feature, which we'll get to in a moment. At 50p stake, average percentage payout is of at least 90%. At £1 stake, 92%, and at £2 stake, 93%. So it tells you right here what the payback is, and it can be set even though there's no denomination. There are no denominations for the machines over there. They do set it based on wager. So it's a proof right there. The more you bet, the higher percentage they'll give you. Obviously, it's still pretty low. I've heard from watching other videos that it used to be much higher. Actually, we've seen 91% for a £2 stake on some games. So 93 is actually kind of generous in a sense. Okay. Values, okay, so we'll go now to the next one, category B2. These are infamous. And right now, I will tell you, category B2 and B3 are almost identical in terms of the minimum. They are identical in terms of minimum or maximum bet and maximum payout. The maximum jackpot. But it wasn't used to be that way, and I'll explain. This is a recent thing. So B2 gaming machines are also known as fixed odds, betting terminals, or fob tees. These were the games that you would find electronic table games on, electronic roulette, electronic blackjack even. And gaming machines may contain games of more than one category. For example, category B2 gaming machine may also offer B3 and C and category C games. This I can confirm as well from videos I've watched. All right, so here are the specs here. Maximum stake is £2. Maximum prize you can win per spin of a B2 slot machine is £500. And you can find them in casinos, but you can also find them in betting shops or tracks with pool betting. Betting shops, these are the bookmakers, the bookies, or the what we would call sports books, the places where you can bet on sports. Same thing with category B3, which we'll get to. You can find them there too. It doesn't say here. If I scroll down to B3, it'll show. But for betting shops, the maximum you can have in those is four machines. Now, before 2018, I think 2018 was when they made this change. The maximum stake for a category B2 machine used to be £100. Hence why there used to be a proliferation at betting shops of people playing roulette on these machines. And they became infamous in the media for for causing massive problem gambling issues amongst many people in the public. Because obviously you could take their word for it or not, but there were documentaries, media was on this all the time, and it got the government to take action and to change the law to make it only £2 minimum or maximum. So that's a bit of history right there. You can actually go ahead and look up some older videos of. You could see how people can lose their money that they may have for paying bills, and they just go into their local betting shop, or right around the corner, and then blow it all on below £1,000 in just a few minutes. Pretty sad. So yeah, they reduced it. Of course, the betting shops and the game providers know how to do workarounds, and what they did is that they can't increase the stake above £2, but what they can do is offer side games with increased volatility, and that's what they've done. Like these premium spins or these fortune spins or whatever they're called, where it costs £2 instead of playing the regular base slot machine where you make your bet and then the real spin, on the video slot. Instead, you play the special game where you have to match 3 chip symbols or bonus symbols, and if you do, you get 5 of these special fortune spins, which have higher wins for the symbols. So it's essentially it's a way of increasing the maximum bet without doing so. You would have to actually watch. You would have to watch a video if you want to see a visual representation of what I mean. But obviously, as I mentioned, Stop and Step is a good YouTube channel to watch if you want to see some of those games in action. But let's go ahead and scroll down here. All right. Technical standards, text houses. Yep, they must display the return to player as well. B3. This is one I mentioned already. Um, Bingo premises are allowed to have it as well. The B3 specifically. So as you can see, maximum stake, maximum prize are identical to B2, and but you can see that it also that you can find them in bingo premises in the UK, in addition to betting shops and tracks with pool betting, but also something called an adult gaming center. And if you hear Brits saying the term arcade, this is what they're talking about. So he's, oh, I'm gonna go to the arcade, mate. That what they mean is the adult gaming center. It's not like the arcade that you used to go to as a kid. Not not the arcade where you play video games and get tickets, or you play a claw machine, which we'll actually get to. Claw games are actually listed as gaming machines. If we scroll down, we can actually go to that uh, in a moment. But yeah, it's when you hear the term arcade in the UK, it's an adult gaming center. Basically what we would call a slot parlor, I guess. You know, it's a facility with gaming machines, with slot machines. And let's see, what's the maximum for it doesn't say here. Up to maximum of 4 for the betting shops. Yeah, it can also be found in casinos too, but don't know if it's that common. I knew you were going to make some sort of joke there, boozers. But no, it's just another. It's just a place where you play slots, essentially. All right. Yep, the RTP. Category B3A is pretty much similar to B3 in terms of maximum stake and maximum payout, uh, but it's only offered in something that's called Members Club or Miners Welfare Institute. I won't go into too much details, but one machine of this type is allowed, and the games that are allowed on Category 3BA seems to be like lottery based games. Working Men's Club, branches of the Royal British Legion, and clubs with political ties. Interesting. We'll skip through it, so it's not something you're typically going to find. Yeah, they're lottery ticket machines, essentially. Category B4. I've never seen this one. It has a maximum of £2, max of 400. I don't think I've seen a Category B4. But it looks like these members clubs are allowed to have them up to a maximum of 3. They technically can be in other establishments as well. You can find them. They're technically legally allowed in casinos too. Don't know if you can actually find them. Let's scroll down to the next one. I think Category C is going to be an important one. Here we go. All right, Category C machines. These are going to be games that looks more like this type of game. It's going to have a. Let's scroll down here to the maximum stake of £1 and a maximum prize of £100. So the older fruit machines will be Category C or maybe even Category D gaming machines, most likely. But there are some video slots that are Category C. I think there is a 3-reel version of the WMS slot Black Knight that you could find that is under Category C with a max stake of 1 and a maximum prize of 100. I think there is a version like that. There are some others like that as well. So Category C is what you will also typically find in two machines of these type is allowed in pubs. Bars and pubs or alcohol licensed premises are allowed to have 2 machines. arcades, adult gaming centers are allowed to have them as well. Bingo premises. Um, so you'll find those there. You'll typically never find them at an actual casino, fully fledged casino, but they do. But they do allow it though. Yeah, welfare club. I don't get it either, boozers. Yeah. So I'll scroll down here. So yeah, uh, if you go to a pub, two of them are allowed, or a specified amount with a permit from the local authority, apparently. Members club or minors welfare club or commercial club, you can have up to three. No limit for the bingo premises or the adult gaming center. Betting shops apparently allowed to have it, but I think it's rare. As well as the casinos are allowed to have it, but it's rare. Yeah. And then finally, we'll get to category D. Category D. All right. So low stakes fruit style machines, coin pushers, sometimes called penny falls, or crane grabs. So technically, a coin pusher, or even crane. I'm assuming a crane grab is a claw machine, like the ones you would find at a kid arcade here in the U.S. Those are considered gaming machines under British law. I don't even know what the welfare system is like in the UK. If it's called, if what they call it. Obviously, I don't think they call it food stamps, but uh, so what is it? So category D can be found in addition to all of these places, which is rare. Family entertainment centers. So I'm guessing that's the opposite of adult gaming centers. Family entertainment centers is what we would call arcades, I would assume. Family entertainment centers. So it's where kids are pretty much allowed to go into. And I think category D, unless the law is changed, category D I think is the only category where there's no age limit to play them. So your child can go and play these games legally, which is why I guess they're in family entertainment centers. Traveling fairs, unlicensed family entertainment centers with a permit. Interesting. However, their use in premises other than adult gaming centers, family entertainment centers, pubs, and traveling fairs is unusual. Yeah, you'll not find category D in a casino. Benefits, yeah. um, there are 5 different combinations of stake and prizes for various. Okay, yeah, so category D is pretty much yeah. If kids are allowed to play them, obviously they don't allow for you to bet that much, and they have very low maximum prizes. So for money prize, it's 10 pence maximum stake, max prize at £5. Non-money prize, it's a little bit higher. Crane grab machine, it's you could bet up to £1 and win up to 50. Huh. I'll go ahead and scroll down so you guys can read it. And here it mentions once again the pubs and alcohol premises. It can allow category C or D. So it just so yeah, the article repeats a few things as well for each. Yeah, and all machines are required to display the payback percentage or the theoretical RTP. But that was all the categories of gaming machines as defined under the Gambling Act 2005 and as explained by the UK Gambling Commission. Yeah, we need that in the U.S. too. Yeah, winning actual money. Yeah, that is something I would wish too. Like, why not? All right, there is more to discuss here. So we already looked at random versus compensated. We looked at all the categories. We looked at the legal maximum bets. Okay, now we've got two other things here we want to discuss. and that is the gamble feature. Okay, tell me right now in the comments or in the chat uh, if you have seen a gamble feature in a slot machine in the U.S. Usually a double up feature. I know video poker we have it. We have double up in video poker. Um, but if anybody can tell me if they see a gamble feature on a slot machine here in the U.S., I've only seen it a couple of times in a couple of Northern California casinos, but I don't. Oh, looks like we would just drop frames a little bit, but it looks like we're back on. Let me go ahead and take a drink while I wait for you guys. Yeah, online they definitely have them. And Boozer says not on a slot, right? Before I show you guys what the gamble features here in the UK, um, I'll share with you guys the ones that I found here in the US. Obviously, video poker has them, but not every video poker machine has it, and I'm still pretty sure it's not that. It's less common than it. Hopefully, you guys can hear me fine. Okay, looks like we're good now. Okay, so let's continue. So, at Calusa Casino in Northern California, um, there it's relatively new. There were a couple. There was a bank of Buffalo slots. It might have been a year ago when I first saw it, and it was called Buffalo Gamble or Buffalo Gamble Edition. It's basically just regular Buffalo. It's just regular Buffalo, no gimmicks, nothing, but with the gamble feature enabled. And if you've been to a casino in Australia, I know this is on this discussion was on the UK, but Australia, Aristocrat slots originally came from Australia because that's where the company's based. And if you go to the machines in Australia, they always have the gamble feature enabled. So if you were to play Buffalo in Australia, the regular one, the gamble feature will be there. You enable, so when you win, you get you can choose if you want to gamble that win, double it up, or four times that up if you choose a suit, and then one of four cards, the Ace of Hearts, Diamonds, Spades, or Clubs, will be revealed. And if the one that you picked, the suit or the color matches the one you got, you double up. And I think on that one it was, I think you get maximum of 5 doubles before you're forced to collect, or if you make a wrong guess, you lose your win. Yeah, there was buffering just now. Looks like things are fine. Well, let's see. Drop frames 5%. Okay, but I think we're good now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So that was that one. There was a Buffalo Gamble, and then there was another Northern California casino. A few, a couple of Ainsworth slots in the high limit. I think it was in the high limit room. Not all of them in there, but a couple of them. The Ainsworth is the one with those must hit by progressive jackpots. Uh, they had the gamble feature enabled, and the button was there showing it, like, oh wow. So those are the only two instances where I was able to find a double up feature on a slot machine. Here in the UK, on the other hand, they are rampant, and they are very creative on the different types that are out there. And Darren of Stop and Step, if you're watching this, there are he is relentless on playing the gamble feature every time in his videos. So I'm gonna show you guys 3 instances. We'll go ahead and show this one right here. So this is your typical red and black or suit gamble, and Matt has something here. As someone who doesn't play slots much, if ever, I've heard if you bet higher denom on slots, even if the end it's the same money bet. Yes, in the U.S. especially, yeah. So here in America, the casinos will typically set the slot based on denomination. Yeah, Boozer's saying, yeah, I was buffering again, yeah. Yeah, it's been in the US because the UK spells it out, exactly. So back to the double up feature. So this is an example of one of them. This is a simple... And yeah, Boozers confirms as well, yeah. So this is the double up feature. Dropped a lot of frames there. All right, we're back. So as you can see, in the most gamble features will have a 100% payback percentage, and even displays it right here. So obviously, if you want to play the gamble feature, that is up to you. Obviously, because it's a 100% payback, it will increase your total payback of the entire slot over time, but at the expense of being more volatile. So it's up to you. You know, if you were playing one of these, if you wanted to actually take the risk. But you know, it's like flipping a coin. So that's a simple double up feature. But we're gonna look at a couple others now. Here's another one, also taken from the same video from Stop and Step. This is what is called a pie gamble, or sometimes called a ladder gamble, because the amounts are laddered up. If you've ever played the... Yeah, Matt says it's like the odds bet on craps. Yeah, it's exactly. There's no house edge on the double up feature. But here is what is called a pie gamble or a ladder gamble. And this allows you to choose, you know, how much you want to gamble up to, and the more you want to gamble up to, the smaller the pie gets. Or if you want to make it easier to get the pie, you would like... So as you can see here on the screen, he's got 25 pounds, and he's gambling to 35. That would be the pie right here. If the spinner lands on the green, he wins 35, and he gets to continue playing. And it looks like you even have the option to take free spins instead of the money, or what they call super spins in this case. And you can continue going this all the way up to the maximum jackpot of 500 pounds, if you're lucky. So that's another example of a gamble. If you know the wager savers that are found on WMS or any scientific game slot here in the U.S., where if you have less than the bet remaining, you get a little bit of a pie gamble in which once it lands, you get to have a free spin at that bet level. But here, you've got a pie gamble. You get to do it as many times as you want. All right, so that's one gamble feature, and here's the last one. This one is a real kind of based gamble feature, where you choose you select one of these reels, and then it spins, and if it lands on the multiplier, you get that gamble. So you can see the previous winning spin was for 16 pounds. If you hit the times, if you hit this left reel, you're gambling for a double, a times 2. So if it lands on the times 2, you get the win, and you get to continue playing. If not, if it lands on the red circle, you lose your original win, and you continue back on the regular slot. You could go for a 4x, a 5x, or a 10x as well, and those are obviously not going to be much harder to hit. So those are at least 3 of the different gamble features. There are probably others out there. And then the last one I want to show you guys is autoplay. I want to see, did I save? Actually, let's go ahead and fast forward to maybe one of these. Okay, so I'm just skimming through one of his videos. You could see right here, autoplay. Imagine how much more relaxing it could be if you could just put on the machine how many times you want it to spin, so you don't have to push the button every time that you want to spin the slot. This this is a feature in the UK. You can set by pressing this on the touch screen. Pressing it once will add 5 spins to the autoplay each time. And then once you're done, you can just press start autoplay. And if you want to stop it early, you push the stop autoplay. And then the machine just plays. Takes 2 pound, 2 pounds bet every spin, and it'll just autoplay. This is a feature that you'll typically find online, but it's also available in land-based gaming machines in the UK. Exactly. Instead of slamming the button. And yeah, as I mentioned, yep, Matt says, yeah, all online sites will have the autoplay, but yeah, they have it. They have it in the UK as well. UK physical gaming machines will have the autoplay. So that's another feature right there. Let's see. And did I miss anything? Denomination, max stake. The difference between RTP here in the US and the UK. Okay, fast play. Fast play exists there as well here, but they did make it illegal online for some reason. Half the time the play button is half broken anyway, so that is true. That is true. But then it becomes an issue though if the touchscreen doesn't work or it's all funky. That's an issue I've had with some video poker machines. Not really fun. Let's see. I'm looking through my notes to see if I missed anything. Doesn't seem like I have. I got through most of it. Fast play or skill stop. Well, it's not really a skill stop, but fast play. Stopping, hitting the spin button a second time to stop the reels early, like we do here in the U.S. That does exist in the UK as well. At least last I remember for land-based machines. Online, though, they recently, I think during the pandemic, the Gambling Commission, which has been flexing its muscles as of the last few years, has actually made it illegal for British customers of online casinos to no longer have fast play, so they'll no longer stop the reels early. That's for online only, and online gambling sites accommodated by removing the feature specifically for UK players only. Uh, so if you're logged into an online gambling site from the UK or your account is registered to an address in the UK, you won't be able to fast stop. But it is past the top of the hour. I think we're just going to go ahead and end it right here. We actually finished in an hour's time. Anybody have any questions though before we end it off? There probably is a lot more that I'm missing, but this is what I was able to jot down the past couple of days in preparation for this stream. Any questions, or if you actually enjoyed it, let me know. I'm gonna have to go and grab a late dinner. Normally I eat dinner before my stream, but this time I'm gonna have it after. Let's go ahead and bring it. Oop, not there. Not intermission. Where is Tuesday Talk? Here we go. All right, boozers. Thanks, Mike. Very informative. Neat to see the differences. Yeah, it is very interesting. Some I like and some I don't. Yeah. Same thing here. And Matt asked ideas for next week. I don't know yet. I do have in my to-do list wanting to make do another round of the of video poker quizzes. If you've watched my very first episode of Video Poker Genius, I had I think a 10-question quiz at the very end of it, which ended up with me hitting a royal flush at the end. If you haven't seen it yet, I know I kind of spoiled it, but I'm thinking of doing another quiz video. But it's kind of yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, I think I have the notes here. Yeah, I've already got 7 hands listed. I probably want to think of like 20 or 25. It's gonna be a. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do it as a separate video or as part of the Tuesday Talk stream. Maybe dedicate next week to doing that. Um, so I haven't decided if I'm going to do it as a separate video or as part of the stream. If anybody has any ideas, if they would prefer that or not. And other than that, I don't have any other discussion points. Let me actually, since we're talking about stuff here, I'm gonna. Where's my checklist? YouTube. Here we go. Obviously, you can't see it because I just want to look for myself. Yeah, video poker quiz. And I wanted to do 4 segments of it. One for jacks or better in bonus poker, another one for double bonus, the third one for deuces wild, and the fourth one for joker poker. Matt, on 6 to 5 blackjack, if forced to play that variant, should you double down your blackjack against bust cards? That's a good question. I think I've seen that question answered before. I think I've read it many years ago. Somebody asked that, just doing random research, and I think the answer is no. But you know what? Let's go ahead and actually look it up while we're at it. I'm curious for myself, but I think the answer is no. Okay, yeah. Same as when you double down on the phone. Let's talk about the risk versus reward. Yeah, that's what I'm finding too. Though it gives me a TripAdvisor link, so it's gonna be. I have to if I actually go to the link, I have to find where the actual information is. Okay, yeah. Even the Wizard of Vegas forums yeah. Do not double down. Okay, yeah. So yeah, don't double on blackjack. It's it's 6 to 5 while it's bad while it's quite bad compared to 3 to 2, it still doesn't justify it. I think the only time I've ever think doubling on a blackjack's a good idea, maybe on some like very interesting blackjack variants, but if you're playing a blackjack tournament, that might actually be a strategy in a blackjack tournament. Because in a blackjack tournament, you're playing against other players and not the dealer. So the amount you bet versus what they're betting, and your goal is to have more chips than your opponents at the end of the blackjack tournament. Uh, it becomes a strategy such as doubling on a blackjack or doubling for less is another one where you put less than the equivalent amount of your bet on a double down, especially if the double down card is dealt face down, because your opponents won't get to know what that card is, so it hinders their strategy. So tournaments is very different, and that may be justified there. Yeah, if you're googling for 65 blackjack Vegas once, you ace. Yeah, and they're gonna give me and then Google's gonna show me a bunch of Vegas ads right on my face. And as they track me. All right. So let me go back to the schedule for future videos. So, oh yeah, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I have recorded a quick video which I need to edit because there's a lot of awkward pauses on it, so I need to make sure I edit it. But the title is called "Video Poker: 5 Quick Tips for Your Next Casino Visit." So I'm going to be editing that, hopefully getting that out to you guys by tomorrow. Uh, it is a short video where I discuss 5 quick tips for your next casino visit, and it is mainly gauged towards beginners, or people who are looking for who find my channel for the first time as well. But it's also a good refresher for you guys as well. Thanks for the stream. It was cool to see. See you Thursday for the home game. Exactly. And we'll see you there too. So the 5 quick tips for the next casino visit for video poker. I hope to get you guys that tomorrow. I already recorded it. I just need to do a lot of editing. And I do want to also do a video on, say, watching out for fake video poker machines like those that are bingo based, class 2, or lottery based. I do have that on my to do list. A couple of experiment videos as well. And then I've got some poker videos I want to start actually doing. Um, one is a couple of them are PokerStars related, and then I've got this new series that I want to start that goes through tutorials on how to play various different poker games, starting with Texas Hold'em, of course, and then we're going to get to Omaha versions of Stud and Draw. Boozers, I think you're going to be liking that because you asked me about creating a tutorial video for Omaha. So that is going to be on the list, and I hope it comes sooner than later. But we're going to end it off here. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, haven't done so yet, be sure to hit that like button. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, share the video with others so that this stream gets more eyeballs, and be sure to ring that bell to be notified for the next video and or stream. I will see you guys on the next stream on Thursday for Poker Thursdays, the weekly 20K live. I will see you guys then. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening, and go make it happen.